Good afternoon, everybody. I am student Dr. Barrios, the class of 2027 representative, and I would first like to thank you guys all and welcome you all to our donor memorial service. It means so much that so many of you are attending and are present today so that we may give proper thanks to those who have made an invaluable and selfless contribution to our education. My time spent in the anatomy lab with our donors and putting this service together has caused me to reflect quite deeply on the valued gift that they have given us. This gift gives us the resources that we need to improve the health and lives of people for generations to come. To the families of our donors, we offer our deepest sympathies for your loss. Thank you for putting your faith in us and in our education, and I know that being separated from your beloved family members is one of the most difficult things to cope with. But you have taken your grief and channeled it into hope and faith in our education and the future of medicine. And for that, we are so grateful. To the DO class of 2027 and the biomedical class of 2025, I know that our schedules each day feels like it's passing by so slowly, and each month flashes past us. But I urge you all to appreciate all of the time that has been granted to us, to the dedicated time that we have here at PCOM to learning and perfecting our craft, so that we may become the best physicians, and to make sure that all of the hope that our donors have had in us does not go unfulfilled. Thank you all for coming. I would now like to introduce student Dr. Justin Nguyen, our DO 2027 class chair, to lead us in a moment of silence.
We are gathered here today to express our deepest gratitude for the incredible privilege and sacrifice that our donors have provided for us with the gift for medical education. Please join me in a moment of silence as we honor these individuals. Thank you.
We now have a few students who would like to express some words to you all today. I would now like to introduce student Dr. Koshela, OMS 1.
Okay. Hi, everyone. With the fast pace at which we move through medical school, it's rare to find times to reflect and embrace those moments of reflection. Today, I want to reflect on our time in the lab with our donors and the feelings that accompany that. I was emotional on our first day of anatomy lab. I was uncomfortable and scared because 6 months ago, this person, who's now my donor, maybe was grocery shopping with their grandchildren or watching TV with their spouse, or doing anything that any one of us could do in our daily lives. And I knew that for the next 6 months, we would become well acquainted with the discomfort of their passing. The experience we were about to embark on is a lot to process for many students. It's important to think back to those early days in anatomy lab when we were uncomfortable, some of us emotional, some of us it was our first experience with a deceased individual. Sometimes we have to distance ourselves from those emotions to get through the tremendous amount of learning that we do every day. But in this moment of reflection, please remember how sacred their life was. Remember to embrace the sadness of their passing and the gratitude of their donation to us. To our donors' family members, they gave tremendous meaning to our education. They gave tremendous meaning to our education in their passing, but I'm sure they gave even more meaning to you during their life. Thank you for sharing them with us. And to my classmates, let's honor their legacy and model ourselves after their altruism. Let's go forward with empathy, continuing to make decisions for the betterment of our communities. Let us never forget the sacrifice their families made in giving a year, if not more, to their loved ones, of their loved ones' time to us before they can lay them to rest. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce one of our biomedical students, Jodeci, the biomed class chair.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jodeci Mitchell. As the class chair for the biomedical sciences, I am honored to stand before you today to express our heartfelt gratitude for the incredible donation that has a profound impact on our journey in the biomedical sciences. The donor's selflessness and support has not only provided us with valuable resources, but the donors also serve as the first patients for aspiring medical students. Through their donation, they have helped us build the confidence needed to thrive in medical school and other biomedical professions. As we continue on our journey in the field of medicine, we are filled with both eagerness and excitement. The donors have ignited a newfound passion within us, fueling our desire to devote more time in the lab and seize every opportunity that comes our way. Though our allotted class time in the lab may be relatively short, I speak for all of the biomed class when I say that the impact of this donation has made us more determined than ever to pursue our dreams and make a difference in the world. The majority of the biomedical sciences class, including myself, set out on our academic journey here at PCOM with the goal of enhancing our scientific understanding to prepare for the rigors of medical school. And learning from the amazing donors gives us the opportunity to further cultivate valuable skills like critical thinking, teamwork, and problem solving. With the knowledge and skills we have and will gain from the donors, we know we will be equipped with the tools needed to thrive as future medical students. With that being said, today, let us rejoice. Let us honor and celebrate the incredible generosity of these donors. They have not only supported our education, but have also instilled in us a sense of gratitude and the importance of giving back. We are forever grateful for their contribution, and I want to assure you that we will carry their legacy with us as we continue on our journey towards becoming successful medical professionals. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce student Dr. Dockery, our DOCO class president.
Thank you, Alize. Good afternoon, everyone. As medical students, we spend an immeasurable amount of hours in lectures learning about cells, physiology, anatomy, histology, and the list goes on, only to spend our lives in a career surrounded by life and death at every turn. I feel that for most of us, that realization really came to the forefront of our minds when we first stepped into anatomy lab. Even though we were not there to take a history or develop a treatment plan, I feel as though we all entered that room with an immense amount of respect and value for the lessons we were about to learn. This part of our curriculum relied on so much more than our own dedication and the PowerPoints of our professors, but instead rested heavily on the kindness and foresight of the individuals and families who made this learning experience possible. According to Rabindranath Tagore, the one who plants trees, knowing that he will never sit in their shade, has at least begun to understand the meaning of life. I would say that our donors understood this lesson through and through, and I hope to have even a fraction of that understanding as I make my way through the healthcare profession. Personally, the knowledge gained through Anatomy Lab will stick with me for years to come and will hopefully provide a shade of healing to the thousands of patients that I will treat in my time as a physician. I intend to repay this gift by continuing to pay it forward to the physicians and students that will come after me, to leadership, mentorship, and philanthropy. So that like our brave donors, I too may one day understand the meaning of life. To the donors and families, we owe an immeasurable debt of gratitude. Your loved ones made a noble decision, one that will echo throughout the duration of our careers. To us, they have given a gift that we will cherish for as long as we walk the earth, the gift of knowledge, healing, and hope. Through their selfless act, they have become the silent teachers in our journeys towards becoming healers. Thank you.
I would now like to introduce one of our amazing professors, Mr. Egberts.
Thank you. Most of us remember the very first time we've seen a human body. It's a very, very tremendously impactful event. For many of us, that might be at a funeral, at a wake. For me, it was as a young teenager. We went to the Body World exhibit, which is an anatomy exhibit featuring real human specimens. And I remember not just the fascination with what I saw, but also that tremendous gravity that filled the air. And I realized that there was something more to it than, just looking at a scientific specimen. Now, for a lot of our students, you might have had an experience like this one before you joined us. But I know that for many of you, the first time you stepped into that anatomy lab was the first time you saw a human body. And every year, I see that same sense of gravity in many of your eyes. And, while PCOM is a medical college, and one of the primary things we're interested in is your scientific education, I think there's something more to be learned here than, just the names of a few bones and muscles. There is something that goes a lot deeper. And I'd like to ask the question, for you as future physicians, who will be in charge of keeping people alive, how can we understand what that really means if we don't understand death? And I see for a lot of people that as the first experience, and I see people grow throughout this experience. I see people walk into the anatomy lab differently on the first day than when they walk out of it. There's a growth that goes with it. Now, I always start the first anatomy lab with a minute of silence to thank our donors. And I also remind our students to not just pay them the utmost respect, but to remember that they are someone's loved ones, their family, their mothers, fathers, sisters and brothers, grandfathers and grandmothers. And I'd like to take a moment to address the families, the loved ones, the friends of our donors. We are so tremendously grateful for the gift that your loved ones have given our students. But more than that, we're also tremendously grateful for the patience and for the sacrifice that you've shown. Because for a lot of us, it is more difficult to see our loved ones to go through hardship than ourselves. So please know that we're not just thankful to our donors, but we very much keep you in our thoughts and prayers, and we are tremendously grateful for the sacrifice that you have made. And I hope that your loved ones will be back with you shortly so that you can put them to rest. Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce our Dean, Dr. Golden.
Thanks so much. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to our donor memorial service. I'm so proud of our campus, our faculty, and our staff, but especially proud of our students who have so respectfully and kindly created such a beautiful program to honor our donors and their gift to us. It's a deeply meaningful way to acknowledge that gift and to understand that life is so precious. And I think the students have pointed that out today. We think of a baby's birth and everyone's so excited. As I moved through my medical career and I sat with people in their moment of passing, I realized that that moment was even more profound, it seemed, because that person had done everything they were going to do, or at least I thought that they had done everything they were going to do in this lifetime. But in this way, when we come together and we look at the gifts that these donors made and their families made, it's very profound and it's very poignant, because that gift is going to last long after their passing. It will come with you throughout your careers, and it will help so many patients to come. And so it's an exponential gift that just keeps giving. And for that, I'm so grateful. I do get very choked up, because I think it's just so, it's one of life's greatest moments, if you will. We are very thankful to our donors and their families. And I would like to point out that PCOM South Georgia students partnered with the administration to plant a memorial garden as a lasting reminder of that gift to the donors and their families, but also to the students, that this is something that people who don't even know you gave this to you in a way that will take you through your lives, through your careers, and teach you so much that you're only beginning to understand. So thank you for coming. I hope that everyone enjoyed this. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to make some closing remarks, and God bless you.
Now we will light these candles in honor of each of the donors that we have worked with over the past couple months, with some music from our M2s, Sophia and Daria.
Hello everyone, my name is Alvin Koja. As we conclude today's beautiful memorial ceremony, I just want to take this opportunity, on behalf of all the students, to first thank the donors and their families for their immense contribution to our medical education. We pledge to take the lessons learned from their generosity and apply them to our care of others. We also are extremely grateful to our entire anatomy department for facilitating our education through their knowledge and expertise, to the Students Affairs Office and the administration for their help and always supporting our endeavors. Thank you all for being here today, and please join us outside for refreshments. Thank you.